All right, welcome back to the Algorithm Podcast. Today I'm joined by Spencer and Joey, our prime time NFL panel. So we're going to be discussing week 4 of the NFL, which I feel like we say this about every week, but kind of weird week. Nothing has really been going quite as expected this season, and definitely had some duds in the 1 p.m. window at least, some kind of crappy games, but also has, some interesting storylines, especially for our three teams. So, of course, Sunday was capped off by a very, very bizarre Cowboys and Packers game, which ended in one of the highest scoring ties of all time. Joey's Eagles went to 4-0, perhaps the most boring 4-0 team of all time, but dominant nonetheless. And of course, my New York Giants got their first one of the year, which I think I'm properly excited for, while also grieving the loss of Neighbors, which really hurts and kind of, you know, makes this less exciting. But I think we'll start off with the Cowboys because even though, again, I think we're spending a whole lot of time talking about a team that's not going to be making any splashes later in the season, they have given us a lot of good content. So, Spencer, what were your thoughts about this game?
Um, I thought it was one of the best games I've seen Dak Prescott play in quite some time. And I think that this season he's played extraordinarily well and like better than I ever could have hoped for. And it got me thinking about like how many teams have had a quarterback play for them for 10 years. Like like in the current NFL, and it's not many. And you know, not to pick on the Giants immediately, but like, how many quarterbacks have you had in the last 10 years? Dak Prescott's not like the best quarterback. He's not going to be a top five, can arguably not be a top 10, but he's going to be a good enough quarterback where you're going to win some games and you're going to score some points. And no
Well,
CeeDee
may
Lamb.
I remind you that you didn't win this game.
Yeah, yeah, I know, but I thought we were gonna get blown out, and I'm just happy we didn't lose. And I was entertained. I was entertained. At this point with the Cowboys, as long as I'm entertained, I don't care if we lose, or don't win. But George Pickens was just so much fun to watch yesterday. 134 yards. Our defense, yeah, I don't even want to talk about the defense. It's a black hole. You can do whatever you want against them. Uh, but yeah, my main takeaway about the Cowboys, I don't know, we can get into the Packers in a minute, but about the Cowboys specifically was, their offense is just really good. And I think we knew that. I think I mentioned that going into the year, that their offense was going to be really good. But that defense is just so bad. But they're gonna give you a lot of fun games.
Joe, any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think my biggest takeaway from the game is not really about either team specifically, but like so much as the NFL as like a whole. And I think I have two things. One, the NFC doesn't have a like opponent for the Eagles right now, like a clear front runner. Like in the AFC, you have like it's going to come down to this like epic battle between Josh Allen and like probably like Lamar or someone. I mean, they're 1-3 right now, but like you know what I mean. There's going to be like an epic matchup in the AFC, but with the NFC, I really feel like what this game shows you is that the Packers were like marketed as the Eagles' best like opponent, and now I feel like last night shows you that they're really kind of, I wouldn't go on to say like mediocre yet, but I mean, you just lost to the Browns and then tied the Cowboys. So you're not in like a great spot if you're supposed to be the team that's like challenging the Super Bowl champion. So that's my one thing. And the other thing I have to say is I think we got to change these overtime rules again. I think that was really, it's time that the NFL cannot end in a tie. I think that can't be a possibility. So I don't know if that's changing the college or something like that, but that was just such a disappointing way to end last night. And like you could feel as you're watching it, like, oh, I really hope it doesn't end this way. And like even as like a Cowboys hater, I would rather have them won that game than it ended a tie.
I just don't get it because it used to be a 15-minute overtime. And now it's 10-minute overtime. Each team can have the ball. And it's very easy for this to happen, I feel like. That
Hmm.
you can do two long drives with field goals and then just play it safe and get the tie. I'm not necessarily in favor of, just extending and keep going and play more overtimes. But I don't understand why we went from 15 to 10. It just seems like it encourages ties now.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I mean, 1-2-1 has to be one of the ugliest records to start off a season that I've ever seen in my life. So I
Yeah.
don't know
No,
how you're
it's not
feeling
0
about
and
that one,
4.
Spence.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you on the overtime rules. Um, it's just I was watching the game, and I texted you this as well. The Cowboys are on the 5 yard line. It was 3rd and 5, and they didn't get it. And my immediate thought was go for it because you're gonna make this field goal, and then your team is probably like your defense can't stop the Packers for anything. Like you need a touchdown here because they're gonna get to the 50 yard line. And that was like my other takeaway. And I know we talk about this every week, but kicking is seriously getting out of hand. And you know, you can't like at some point it's going to evolve to the point where it's at max. Like, what is the max that you can get to? But yesterday, Chase McLaughlin kicked a 65-yard field goal in outdoor weather, which is the longest field goal outdoors in NFL history, and he made it with like 7 yards to spare. So it's basically what are coaches willing to let their kickers try? And until a coach is like no longer letting them to try that, they're not going to get any further. And and if you're going to say that each team gets the ball and it's only a 10-minute quarter, there's a very good chance that someone's going to kick a field goal or each team is going to kick a field goal and it'll end in a tie.
That's just the NFL is just always changing shit. Like they have these new footballs now for kicking, which apparently, like we can tell, are making the balls go a lot farther. And then there's like this kickoff rule. Like imagine watching a football
I
game
love the
when we were
kickoff rule.
like 10 years old. Like touchbacks would come out to the 20 and kickers would be missing like 45 yarders. Imagine watching this now. Like the ball is almost guaranteed to come to the 30, 35 even. And
Mhm.
then the kickers get to, their opponent's 45-yard line and they're just nailing field goals. It's totally different.
Could this be a conspiracy we have on our hands?
All right. All right. Talk us
Because
through it.
I would just like to point out the increase in European-based football games over the last few years, and now obviously it's the most European games we've had all year. And maybe the NFL is trying to get European fans involved in the game by increasing, Europe's favorite part. You ever hear those 9:30 games? How loud it gets when they do a kickoff or kick a field goal or an extra point, even.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think there's
Well,
something worthy of
I
investigation here.
like I think that's good.
I
I think
like
that's
it. I
good.
like it.
And I have a message for Commissioner Goodell. So, I
Clip
was
this.
watching football yesterday on my computer. I was watching the Giants, and Hanya wasn't watching with me for all of our four viewers. Hanya's my Polish girlfriend, and she was looking and she goes, I was explaining to her, by the way, the whole expansion into Europe, all the Europe games, because there was the Dublin game yesterday, and she says, Europeans are not going to watch this sport because it has too many commercials, because they watch soccer, you know? And you watch a 45-minute uninterrupted half. You have commercials in the halftime, but the action is not interrupted by commercials. In NFL, we have commercials all the time. And this is just foreign to, people on this side of the Atlantic. So I think there's a point there, and I think that Goodell is going to have to reconsider some things about how these games are being broadcasted.
Mhm.
I think that's interesting for sure. I never thought of it that way because, like, soccer, you can't cut to commercial, right? For the entire half.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's
That's
awesome.
why my major conspiracy is big soccer or big football is not letting soccer into the United States because they know because they can't have commercials. And so like why would they want to promote soccer if they can't advertise for it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
think
so
that's actually probably true.
so they use like tactics to be like soccer's a boring game and that's why everyone says it's a boring game, but you start watching it and you get into it and you realize that it's not a boring game.
Because even if there's like not a lot of action, anything that's uninterrupted for 45 minutes straight is pretty cool. Like
Yeah.
that's pretty fun.
And because, football, there's like 13 minutes of action all game. maybe even
Yeah.
less. It's like a run to the right takes like a minute and a half off the clock because you have the original 40 seconds and then the next 40 seconds.
Yeah. True. All right. Well, now we're gonna move on to Joey's dumb team, who's now 4-0.
Should we talk about the
Am I?
Packers and how that affects them or not really?
Who cares?
No? Okay.
Am I right in this that the Eagles didn't complete a pass in the second half?
That would be correct. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Now some of this was, I will say, play design. Two screen passes. Like the person that was being screened for was lined up behind Jalen Hurts, so they counted as carries.
Right.
But yeah, that's correct. He did not. Jalen Hurts did not throw the ball forward to a receiver that caught it in the entire second half, which is a problem, and very weird considering it's like night and day with this Eagles offense. When you look back at the Rams and it's Rams game, it's like in that first half they did nothing at all. They could get nothing going, and the second half was pretty much the same thing. The only points generated on offense were because of that Bucky Irving fumble in the second half. And I mean, you gotta scratch your head a little bit if you're an Eagles fan. I know you're 4-0. I know you've beaten three pretty good opponents so far, or four pretty good opponents, but you can't be happy with that second half. It was real ugly, and I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator being new, if it's an ineptitude at quarterback, or what the problem is right now. But something's not clicking for a full game yet offensively for the Eagles.
So you say that, but you also say they don't have a formidable opponent in the NFC. So you seem to be a little bit on both sides here.
Yeah, because I think at the end of the day, um, Jalen Hurts does know how to. As much as I hate when people call him this, he is an excellent game manager and knows um, knows himself. I would argue, and where guys like Jordan Love and sometimes Josh Allen, and I would throw in there, and even Lamar now, they like go that extra mile to generate that highlight to keep their team in the game. They sometimes throw it away. I mean, last night Jordan Love doesn't turn the ball over late in that second half, and who knows what happens, right? I think the Packers probably win, and then you could look back at the Browns game, same thing, right? He turned the ball over, and that's why the Browns were able to do what they were able to do. Like he's finding ways to lose the game, where as Jalen, maybe he doesn't do it like above and beyond, but he does find a way to win. So that's why I feel like the Eagles are still the best in the NFC, and they don't have an opponent because the quarterbacks make two bad decisions around the rest of the league, especially the NFC. And I'm confident that the Eagles will win the turnover battle against any team they play in the NFC. But yeah, I don't know. What were your guys' takeaways from everything?
Uh, I don't have so much to say about the game right now. I want to say I think the Lions are that team that can be the opponent because you want to talk about a game manager, Jared Goff. Jared Goff, like he looks like he's working an office job for God's sake, you know. But there he is throwing slants to Amon-Ra and pitches to Jahmyr Gibbs and letting the offensive line do the rest of the work. So I didn't really catch much of this Browns Lions game. Um, I don't know. That's just not a very interesting game. Obviously, the Lions took care of business, but especially because we didn't get to talk about the Ravens game, Spencer, because that was on Monday night. Jared
Hmm.
Goff was just really spectacular in that game, I thought.
Yeah.
And the Lions' offensive line, everyone thought it was going to be bad, but their two uh, new, offensive linemen seem to be holding up just fine. So I like what I'm seeing out of Detroit.
Me too. Me too.
And I also think
Um,
it's silly to just discount the Rams as an opponent. Like they should have beat the Eagles last week. Let's be real.
Yeah. And I mean, they took care of business and won yesterday too. I think and yeah, they outplayed the Eagles. You could say twice, arguably, dating back to last year's playoff too. Like the two of this like 20 game run where Jalen Hurts has like not lost when he plays the whole game. The two games where they had the biggest challenge was the Rams both times. And I feel like that's not just a coincidence. You know what I mean? I think this young Eagles secondary is going to get picked apart by Matt Stafford if they can't get to him. And that's what happened when we played him both times. So I would agree that it's probably the Rams right now. That's the best threat to us, especially now that they got over their like Tampa Bay kryptonite. It seems.
Um, just because you mentioned the Rams, there was a point I wanted to bring up because of something Spencer and I talked about last week. Is Puka Nacua clearly the number one receiver in the entire league? What do you think, Spence?
Um, yeah, probably. No one else has really stood out to me too much this year. I'm trying to think if like the fact that I can't think of another name is kind of showing me that he truly might be. Like usually there'll be like in the last couple of seasons there'll be like one or two that are like clearly the best in the NFL, and that's usually like Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson. And it's always like who's the best receiver in the NFL, and it starts and stops with those two, and then it's like everyone else. This year, there's a pretty big mix, and I think Puka Nacua has a very clear claim to be the best receiver in the NFL or to be crowned the best receiver in the NFL. He had 170 yards today. I just saw. I didn't even know it was that many. I
Yeah.
knew it was like 120-ish. I thought it was 120-ish. I
Now
mean,
this means this could be potentially Stafford's second triple crown winner at receiver. You know what I mean? Like Puka could
Yeah.
easily lead the league in receptions, touchdowns, and yards. It's like, what does that mean? Not to be
I
all
mean,
ESPN, but like, what does that mean for Stafford's legacy?
don't you think Calvin Johnson did that at some point too?
And then he didn't, though. He didn't.
He didn't?
He never did it. No. Cooper
Oh,
Cup was his first
wow.
to get the triple crown. Probably because
it's hard
Megatron
though.
was like,
It's so hard to get the triple crown though.
No, but I was thinking like oh my gosh, like Matt Stafford is must be so thrilled that he has a receiver like Puka, which obviously he is. And I was like thinking, like he's had a long career. Who's the best receiver he's ever played with? Could it be Puka? I was like, wait a minute, no, it's not.
He's averaging
yeah,
No,
125 yards a game. That's crazy.
yeah, Calvin Johnson's the goat of our childhoods.
Hmm.
But yeah, Puka's leading the league in receiving yards by a full 100 yards. JSN is trailing him by 100 yards. But again, the leaderboard remains weird with Quentin
Yeah.
Johnston 3, Ricky Pearsall 4. He had a great catch yesterday. And
Oh yeah, yeah. That was awesome.
Christian McCaffrey's 7 as a running back. He's 7. So yeah,
that's bizarre.
yeah, I don't love that.
George
Anywho,
Pickens is ninth. Who would have saw that coming?
yeah, I mean George Pickens was good yesterday.
Yeah. Um,
Um,
in terms of
the
like the Rams though, and the Eagles, not to go back onto the Eagles, I I just don't trust the Eagles. I don't know why. Like nothing that they have shown me like is there any reason to think that they're going to be able to win these games in the playoffs. When shit really starts to go down. Like
Yeah,
sure, they're going to win regular season games, but you can't let Saquon Barkley run the ball 20 times for 43 yards.
my
yeah,
God,
that's
is
got to
that what
get
he did
figured out.
yesterday?
What's up?
That's
Sorry,
what he
go ahead,
did
Phil.
yesterday?
Yeah,
Yeah,
19 for 43. Jalen
Ugh.
Hurts had 9 for 62, so he was their leading rusher. I just I don't think you can survive one, not throwing the ball in the second half, and two, Saquon Barkley having 43 yards. The fact that you won this game and had those yards is actually mind blowing. I think the Bucks kind of did it for themselves. That late Baker pick that he could have easily threw away, but for some reason, or threw it into the end zone, it got tipped and it got picked off. That shouldn't have happened. Um, I think you guys were like one play away from losing this game and it being like an absolute collapse.
yeah,
But
but
your defense made a play and you didn't lose this game. So, you could also think about it that way. But I don't know. You've
Well,
played a little bit rough against two really, really good teams. And in the playoffs, I think those teams will do better.
yeah,
let's
I
just
mean,
get one thing clear. Saquon Barkley, he respects the office. All right. He's not making a political endorsement. It's the office of the president. He played golf with Obama too, you know?
I plead the fifth.
Yeah. Any more thoughts on the Eagles, Joey?
Um, Cooper DeJean's a goat, man. Our corners are awesome.
Yeah,
That's
no,
it.
he's really good.
Yeah, Quinyon Mitchell, he can ball. He was trying to fight like half the Bucks O line. So shout out those guys.
For
But
a while, I thought it was just Philly being racist, being like Cooper DeJean's the GOAT, being like, yeah, of course, the first white cornerback in 15 years, of course you're gonna like him. But no, he's really good.
yeah, he can hoop.
Yeah.
Um, so just real quick because we're talking about the Rams already. That fumble, the guy in the Colts fumbling the ball through the end zone, that that really like every
So
now and
funny.
then I'm watching a
So
football game
funny.
and I just like my heart sinks for a person. That really hurt to see.
Yeah, because
That's
that
really
wasn't
the
even
game.
like in so many of those instances. It's like Deshaun Jackson like showboating. Like this guy
Yeah.
was that was a genuine mistake by this man.
Yeah.
like
It's
He
it's
was
terrible.
just
he was he was showboating a little bit, but he wasn't like holding the ball down and like dropped it. It
not
genuinely
even
like
trying to
just
get a
slipped.
he was
Yeah, it
trying to
just
get
slipped out
across
of
the
his
line.
hand.
He
But he
really
could have
didn't
just
need
held
to do
on
that
to it.
though. And then Taylor has that touchdown that's called back for a hold, and he was the one that they threw the flag on. So that guy cost his team like 14 points. Pretty bad.
That's
So I'm a little upset that you guys didn't want to talk about the Giants sooner.
Hey, you're the
I,
one leading
I,
this.
I'm just kidding.
I would have talked about
Um,
them first. I love
in
talking
in
about the
all
Giants.
honesty, I don't really like if we're being objective and talking football here, the storyline from this game is that we were hyping the Chargers as, you know, top three team in the AFC. And then just to like,
I was in love with the Chargers. I thought they were really good.
yeah, and just to have such a like pathetic showing against the Giants, I'm a little confused by this.
It was a typical old Justin Herbert uh like game. I think the reason they've been so good, and I think you guys will agree, is because of how good Justin Herbert has been.
Yeah.
Um, like
I mean, their
he's
defense has
been
been quite good as well,
they're
but
yeah, yeah. But like offensively, the reason that they're scoring points is because of Justin Herbert, and Quentin Johnson is catching balls now instead of
yeah,
dropping
finally.
everything. Um, but I think, if Herbert isn't playing well, they can lose to anyone because, but he hasn't been the up and down quarterback that he has been in the past. He's been very, 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 very solid recently or this year. But he reverted back to his old ways. He threw an interception. He threw two interceptions. He was taking sacks. Um, but I do want to give credit to the Giants defense. I think they had a big, big reason to do like for that. Like I don't think Justin
Yeah.
Herbert just like forgot how to play or forgot how he's been playing. I think the Giants defense made it really difficult, um, and made his life like a little bit of a hell. And they took advantage of it and won the game.
Yeah, this was their best game. Giants defense best game by far. And Carter was in the backfield all the time.
Hmm.
Brian Burns had some big plays. He had a big sack in the fourth quarter. So that was encouraging for me to see. This is kind of what we were hoping from the Giants defense. I still think there are some problems that will not be solved this year in their run defense and their secondary, but I enjoyed that. I thought, I didn't get to see all of the game. I thought that Dart definitely looks like a rookie, which I texted to my dad. Dart definitely looks like a rookie, and he said, "Well, that's fair, uh, because he's a rookie." Um, he didn't throw any interceptions, so that's good. Like there was a play in the fourth quarter where I think it was third down, and he had a guy that the announcer was like, "If you time that throw, that's an easy first down," and that's just something he'll figure out how to do. But he's an athletic guy. He's tough. The fans love him. Um, he's he's such a douche, which I kind of like. This whole thing, this whole face paint and the pearl necklace is just like, what are you doing?
Did
But
you
I
did you
liked
see the
it.
thing? Oh, you're not on social media, but did you see the thing where he posted a picture of Madison Beer, Justin Herbert's girlfriend, like right before the game,
He
and then
did.
deleted it? Yeah,
I thought it was
on
I
his
fake
love
at
it.
like,
I
first,
love it.
I
and
thought it
now like,
was too.
but if you, it's
But
like it's real. He did that.
yeah,
That's crazy.
Oh man, and he won. That's awesome.
yeah.
Uh,
Probably,
at
you
the
know
end of the
what? That's
game,
probably why Justin Herbert played bad. He was thrown off a little bit.
Yeah, probably. I'd be threatened by Jackson Dart.
Apparently,
Um,
Jackson Dart has also said that Madison Beer is his celebrity crush in preseason interviews.
mm,
Like, I don't know if it was like overtime or who it was, Bleacher Report, someone asking him. He said Madison Beer is his
Probably
celebrity
Bleacher
crush.
Report.
So
I love
this was a big one. This had bigger stakes than we realized. This game.
yeah, I didn't realize, but this is yeah. Okay, okay. Jackson Dart 1, Herbert 0. Um, my dad texted me at the end of the game, Dable looks like he's about to make out with Jackson Dart.
Yeah, I
Because
saw
Dable
that.
just he looked like
He just kept his job
Jackson
for
Dart
another
was his
week.
savior. Because he was. He would have been fired otherwise. Yeah, we don't have to talk about this stupid team anymore. Yeah, what do you got? Any other games that you guys want to talk about?
Um,
I got one. I watched a little bit of the Bears game,
All right.
and Caleb Williams, that dude's a winner, man. I like Caleb Williams, and I know he had like a lot of like some of it. I'm sure was like only because he painted his nails and people like disliked him, but I do think he was a bit of like a diva when he came into the league. And there's that
Yeah.
story that he like had to go to the Vikings. He felt and like all this stuff, but I don't know. I think Ben Johnson's a really really good dude for him, and like I think sports are better when Chicago's good. I'm really happy to beat the Cowboys last week and then like put two wins back to back. Like I'm not sure the last time I remember the Bears winning two games in a row in my
Yeah.
life.
yeah.
And I don't know, sports are better when Chicago's good. I was happy about that game. I think Caleb Williams can ball a little bit. I think Ben Johnson's a little corny offensively. Like he ran like a fake flea flicker. Like, dude, just like fucking run
That's
up the
so
middle.
funny though. I saw that. I thought it was good. They opened the hole. Like it
Yeah.
worked.
I mean, it opened, but I think at the same time, if you ran like a draw to the left, he would have also had 6 yards on that play.
Yeah.
Like, but anyway, I don't know. I like the Bears.
Yeah.
I like Caleb Williams, and I can see them in the future for sure with the trajectory the Packers and Lions are on. They could definitely get back. Um, and then the one other thing I'd want to talk about, if you guys it may have been a little early for you, Spence. But did you guys catch the Minnesota Steelers game at all?
No,
I
because I was watching the Arsenal game, which was on at the same time.
I only got the first quarter because I had to leave for the movies, but what did you see?
It was weird. Carson Wentz sucks. That's
Yeah.
definitely a takeaway.
Believe it or not, yeah.
Yeah. Um, but I think the Steelers could win their division, is what I was watching, is what I felt while watching the game. Because like TJ Watt is just a freaking animal, man. Like that dude is like he's insane. But like Rodgers is like almost playing like a Jared Goff type role now for that team. And it's like I feel like we just chalked up like DK Metcalf and like some other guys on this team, like Jalen Ramsey, as just being like washed. But like they're not that old. Like DK Metcalf, like bro was like working out with AJ Brown. Like remember the photo, like the flexing
Yeah, yeah,
photo of the
yeah.
two of them. Like DK Metcalf can still play. He had like a 70 something yard touchdown yesterday. So I don't know. I think the Steelers are a little scary right now, and well, right now, regular season scary. I don't think they'll do anything in the playoffs, but Ravens are really struggling and letting up a lot of points, and I think they could totally take that division.
I have two things. From when I was watching, at one point Rodgers threw up. It was on the Steelers' first touchdown drive. Rodgers threw a really beautiful pass to Metcalf on the sideline. It was like a first down for 20 yards or something. And then when I'm watching this, I'm just remembering like, oh yeah, that's Aaron Rodgers. Like this is not the same guy that we grew up with. He can't move anymore because I think Rodgers like something that's so underrated about him is he wasn't fast. He wasn't a guy who was going to pick up yards on the ground, but he was a scrambler, you know? He could get out of the pocket and extend plays. He can't do that anymore, but he can still throw a really accurate ball. And I don't know. I think it's fun if Aaron Rodgers is good. I don't like him, but I I enjoy watching this guy play. A second thing, to win the AFC North right now, what do you think? Who do you think is the favorite, and what do you think the odds are? Spencer, you're our resident gambling expert.
I think the Ravens are plus 120 in the favorite.
See, that seems reasonable. The Ravens are minus 220,
I'm gonna
and the
kill
Steelers
myself.
are almost 3 to 1. So
Wow,
the
that's
Steelers are 3-1.
ridiculous.
Steelers are 3-1. Bengals are 2-1, but we can basically count them out. Browns, obviously, we're counting out. And Baltimore's 1-3. So
I'm
I'm
looking at
not
their
saying
schedule.
I'm not saying I think that the Steelers are going to win the division, but Tomlin's has done this time and time again. Like this dude somehow wins 10 games every year. And if the Ravens can't get to 10 wins, then I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, so here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say. The Ravens schedule gets a lot easier after this. They have Houston next week, then the Rams, which I think they lose to the Rams, so not too easy. But Chicago, Miami, Minnesota, Cleveland. I guess the Cleveland defense can kind of mess them up, and they always go 1-1 against Cleveland. I feel like
Yeah, that's true.
the Jets, Bengals, Pittsburgh. That Pittsburgh game, I think, is going to be really, really important. Whoever wins that game, I feel like wins the division because they don't
Yeah.
play again until week 18,
I
so the
just think
division can be wrapped up by then.
I just think what's hard is like they're 1-3 now. They got to
Weren't they
go
one and
eight
three
and
last
five.
year?
No, they were 0-2 though.
Oh, and
But
two.
they have to go 8-5 to even be 9-8. And I don't think that's winning this division at this point. I think the Steelers could easily go 10-7.
Yeah, it's hard to
Yeah.
like get behind Tomlin win wise. Like, dude, just like he can go 500 for the rest of the year at this point, and maybe
Yeah.
like be okay and just win it with that. So I don't know. That's Ravens are you gotta look in the mirror for sure, man, because they're
Who do you
becoming a
think's at
little
fault for this?
not hardball. I wouldn't. I don't even know. I think it's
I mean,
just
injuries on defense are pretty terrible.
yeah,
They've
They're
lost a
missing
lot of starters.
six
Yeah,
starters on defense.
that's kind of catastrophic. But I mean, I don't know. I don't like the attitudes of Lamar and Henry so far this year.
yeah.
Mm.
Doesn't seem like good vibes.
And Derrick Henry could just be too old too. I mean, he's been hit so many times in
Yeah.
his life, and
And he's 31.
yeah, he's just a tank. And maybe that could be happening
And
with
oh,
Saquon even
man,
too.
But I
the
mean,
the the Ravens had 17 total rushes this game,
yeah, that's not
and
their identity.
166 yards, and 75 of that was on Justice Hill's one play.
But
It's
I
just a
mean,
bad offensive game.
I just think on the positive side of this game, I mean, maybe not positive because we all hate this team, but let's be real, the league is better when they're good. I it was very encouraging to see the Chiefs play this way just for their sake. They actually looked like they had an offense finally for the first time in like
Mhm.
2.5 years.
Yeah, and like I realized while I was watching the game, I actually found myself like I hate the Chiefs, right? I want to
Yeah.
state that. But I found myself rooting for them, or not rooting, I should say, but wanting them to win. I know that's like the same thing, but like I don't know about you guys, but like something I feel you're kind of getting at this, Toby. Like it feels like deeply uncomfortable and unsettling if the Chiefs are 1-3 like, to
Yeah.
start off the year.
Yeah.
Like,
It's just like Twilight Zone.
yeah, it's like if Batman had Joker die or something. Like, what do you do with
Yeah.
yourself? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's you need them there for now, because we've put them up as such a villain and everything,
Yeah.
and you don't want them to go down that easy.
Yeah,
Um,
and as a couple of, Josh Allen supporters, I'd like to see him face Mahomes in the playoffs again. Like, of course. But Mahomes, I honestly, this is one of his best stat games in again, like years. He's 25 for
Mm.
37, 270 yards, four touchdowns, no interceptions. Worthy being back was just very important, of course. It's so funny
Leading
how
receiver
like
and leading rusher.
yeah, it's so funny how like these guys we've seen them play for 1 year and then they come back and we're like, he's finally Patrick Mahomes has got his weapon again. And it's like we've seen Worthy play like 17 games in our life, like but he's a good player. And it's so funny that like Smith-Schuster is a critical part of this receiving group, but it's just how it is.
Um, I'm gonna zag a little bit. I still don't think the Chiefs are good. I think the Ravens defense is really bad.
All right. All
The
right.
Ravens have the third best offense in the NFL in terms of points per game, and they have a negative point differential.
Wow.
Uh, yeah, they've given up 133 points in 4 games, and they scored 131.
Who's first and second?
Oh my God, I was just on it. 1 second. Um,
It's not easy.
can
Don't
you?
worry about it.
I
That'll be
I I I'm not sure. 1 second.
Well,
First
the
is
Ravens.
Buffalo. Buffalo and Baltimore are tied for. Well, no, Buffalo has 133 points. Baltimore has 131, and then the Lions are in first with 137.
yeah.
I love the Lions, man.
But that's 52 against the Bears. Like, you know, how much
Yeah.
can you really look into that?
Yeah.
I
I mean, Baltimore's given up. They gave up
oh,
41 against Buffalo. They gave
mhm,
up 38 last week against Detroit, and now 37.
mhm.
That's terrible. That's
Yeah.
Cowboys level, honestly. So
No, it absolutely is. Like the Cowboys have given up, I'm looking right now, 132 points. It's basically the same thing. It's really, really not good. And it makes me think like we saw 3 weeks of the Chiefs, right? And they might be coming back, and as you said, like they might be getting better. But are we going to disregard those 3 weeks in which they couldn't move the ball, they couldn't score points? When was the last time you saw the Chiefs score 30 points? I don't think they did it once all last
no,
year or to
it's
start
been a
this
long
year.
time.
Like,
All right. We got to do a new meeting. I have a little like gimmick thing, and then we can talk a little basketball and baseball at the end. But Spencer, just
awesome.
let us know when you're ready. All right, so we're back, and we're going to start off with our weekly update on our cross-off teams. So I don't think we've been too serious about this yet, but I think by week 4 we have I think there were 4 certified cross-offs that I had. So of course, worst team in the league, number 1 cross-off Tennessee. Do you guys agree?
Yeah, really, really bad.
So bad. I
They said
know.
it themselves. Cam Ward, right? Said
I'm gonna keep it a buck. We
we
That's
asked.
great.
Yeah.
That was
So
great.
I'll take
Yeah.
his word for it. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. I
And
mean,
I and,
I didn't
and the
watch this
issue.
game. I have better things to do than to watch Houston play Tennessee, but
Mhm.
he went 10 for 26, 108 yards and a pick. That's just so bad. I don't know. I know
You,
it's hard to be a rookie in the NFL and all that, but
do you know
okay.
who has given up the fewest points in the NFL this year?
I mean, probably Houston.
It's Houston by about 20, 38 points.
Wow.
Wow.
If they were like average offensively, they could be 4-0. Um,
Such a shame.
so I know we're probably not going to cross them off yet, but I really think if they can figure out some things offensively, get some receivers back, they can go on a run.
We're not crossing off Houston. Um, okay.
But yeah, the Titans
I'm
are
trying
done.
to do this in descending order of who I think like the worst teams are.
Hmm.
So, despite their record not being the worst in the league, my next crossover is the Panthers.
Yeah.
Joe, you're making a face.
I think they're better than the Saints.
All right. But would you cross them off as a playoff team?
Yes. 100%.
Okay.
So
All right.
yeah.
So Panthers and Saints, we're
Is
crossing
the
both
is
of
the,
them off.
is the Bryce Young era in the NFL over?
How much longer can this go on for?
If
Panthers
he
era
was
in the
a
NFL should be
if you
over.
if Bryce Young was a fifth round pick, would he still be playing?
No, of course
No.
not. It's really bad. Um, yeah, and then the Saints. I mean, the Saints hung in with the Bills today, but I don't think that really means anything. Like the Bills were just playing at 50%. They were sleepwalking, I'm sure.
They also really played down their level a lot. the
Yeah.
I think
Bills.
that's why they lose in the playoffs is because they're usually the better team, but they play down and then. But we don't have to get into that. I
Yeah.
mentioned that yesterday though, and it really pisses me off sometimes.
And then this is where I'm struggling because the AFC is weak and the seventh seed could be anyone. I think I'm ready to cross off the Browns. And I know we've been raving about their number one defense or whatever, but I think I'm crossing them off. Any objections to that?
No, I think their number one defense is like Miles Garrett too, alone. I think one guy
Yeah.
can't get done, and yeah, they're not doing anything.
Okay.
I'm personally, I'm not ready to cross them off because I think they're gonna probably not win another game, so they're probably gonna be crossed off in the next week or two for me. But if they change the quarterback and that sparks the offense at all, like any little bit, I think they can hang in any game with that defense because they are doing no good keeping Joe Flacco. It's not like they're trying to see something. It's like, oh, do we have anything with Joe Flacco? It's like, no, you know what you're going to get with Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
If they go to Dylan Gabriel, like the or Shadur Sanders at
Why
some
not
point,
Shador?
I don't think. Well, Shadur is third overall and doesn't is like or third in the depth chart and doesn't even like is the emergency QB. So I think Gabriel is has won the quarterback job over him. But like, what do you have to lose besides like unless you're like purposely doing this and being like, okay, guys, work on it in practice. Next year you'll have like a full quarterback battle, or if someone gets injured, if Joe Flacco gets injured, then you'll go in. But we're just going to tank this year is basically their thought. They are doing absolutely no good to anyone. They're just wasting a year if Joe Flacco is their quarterback. They're not looking to see what they have. They're not doing anything.
And then I think finally the loser of Dolphins Jets is a cross off.
I'm ready to cross both of those teams off.
Yeah. But this is a certified loser leaves town, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
So the main thing I wanted to talk about was this idea that Bill Simmons and Sal talked about a couple weeks ago, where we can normally boil the league down to 8 teams that you could actually see winning their conference.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's an interesting discussion to be had because we do have a lot of 3-1 teams right now. And I don't think any of us are really that big on San Francisco, for example. All these 3-1 teams are pretty flawed, but I've picked 4 teams from each conference that I think like have a real chance to win the conference, and I want to know if you guys would change any of them or if you think there are more than 4. The NFC, I feel pretty good about. Obviously, it's Philly. Obviously, it's Detroit. And then I think my next 2 teams are the Rams and the Bucks. So I'm
Yep.
leaving out the Packers. I don't think the Packers are really making a push at this point for the NFC. I don't trust Jordan Love.
So happy
I just
about
don't
that.
trust them as a whole. So what do you guys think about those 4?
I think that
I nailed
is
it.
that's obvious. I'd agree. Like I think those are the big four now, and those are your
Yeah.
guys, which is
Yeah.
crazy. Like look at this lineup and like go back like 4 years. Well, not 4 years. I guess the Rams are winning the fucking Super Bowl if you do that. But more to like our childhood. Like these teams were not always like
Yeah.
good. It's like weird seeing Detroit and the Bucks like
I know.
as like elite NFC franchises.
Also, if you go
But
back 4 years, the Bucks also won the Super Bowl
yeah,
like
I know.
five
That's
years
what I was
ago.
saying. Like more to our childhood.
The Bucks and the Rams are 2 of our, and the Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I mention one team and then we can go back to the other teams because I do want to talk about those. But
hmm
I feel remiss if we didn't talk about the Seattle Seahawks a little bit.
I would like to talk about them too.
Um, not the flashiest team. Sam Darnold is still their quarterback. They lost the first game of the season, yeah, right? If I remember correctly, I think.
Yeah, it's the Niners.
Yeah. So they've won three in a row. They have they have a point differential that is up there with Detroit and the Bills. That's it. That's their point differential. Their defense is really, really good. We talk about the Browns defense. But Seattle has a really good defense as well. They've given up 67 points all year. Um, and we saw with Sam Darnold last year, you know, and you talked, Joe, you talked about game managers. That is the definition of a game manager right there.
Hmm.
Like he's not gonna be the flashiest player. He's not gonna run the ball at all, but he'll throw the ball and he'll get you points and he'll lead
Do
you
we
to
just call
wins.
white guys game managers? Like, is this a thing?
No,
No,
because
because
Jalen
Jalen Hurts is
Hurts,
the quintessential man.
yeah.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I feel like it's a
Oh,
term
it's
with some
yeah.
implicit
Yeah, we're getting
suggestion.
Well,
a little dog whistly with it.
Yeah.
when I
Yeah.
see, but when I think game manager, I think of guys who don't run the ball as well. Like Dak Prescott's also a game manager.
Okay.
Also,
Um,
like,
that okay, whatever.
I'm
Sorry,
sorry.
But
Spencer. He might not be top 10, but he's been a little bit better than mediocre for the last 10 years for your team. So
hey, he's led them to like 7, 12, and 5 seasons.
he was in
What are
the
you gonna do?
MVP conversation one time and then they lost in the first round.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the Cowboys. But yeah, we don't really need to talk about them more, but I think Seattle has a really good shot, and I think Seattle and the Rams are much, much better than San Francisco. I
Hmm.
think I think San Francisco's um, schedule, like that, every single person in the world called out, and being like, Jesus Christ, that is the easiest schedule because they finished third in their division last year, or was it last? And so they have like a
Last.
yeah, they finished last. So they have the last place schedule, and it's just really bad.
Yeah.
But and like losing to the Jags, like I should tell you everything.
Hey, the Jags are
No,
pretty good.
we're not going there with the fucking Jags right now. The Jags are not a good team. And so I just think the Rams and Seattle are better.
Yeah, Seattle was a little concerning that they almost blew that game to Joey's boy Kyler, because I think that the Cardinals are just no good.
Yeah.
But yeah, they won the game, whatever. I think they're pretty good. They have good pieces, and um, I love Jackson Smith and Jigba, but their defense is good. Their offensive line, not so much. Darnold, I don't know. Can't be that excited about him. Joey, do you have any more NFC thoughts before we go to AFC 4?
Um, we can move on. I'm good. You guys
All
got it.
right. Well, I struggled more with the AFC. This is much more of a working list. So the top two for me are the Bills and the Chiefs.
Mhm.
Maybe people are going to raise eyebrows at the Chiefs. They're 2-2, but like, come on, it's the Chiefs.
Interesting.
I I guess I guess we still have to say the Ravens. It seems like an overreaction after week 4 to say that, this team that's had playoff success over the last 4 or 5 years is just out as a contender.
Yeah. Like somebody
Um,
had to lose that game yesterday. We have to remember. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like they both
yeah,
entered the game 1-2, and somebody had to lose and be 1-3. It doesn't mean
But
they're
they
like
lost. Jesus, but the way they lost was just
pretty horrific. Yeah.
yeah.
was really
It's
really bad.
it was a gauntlet schedule. Everyone looked at these first 4 games for the Ravens and thought, "Ooh, I hope they're 2-2 after this," and they're 1-3. And our last spot is really what we're gonna have to fight over. So we have the Chargers, who, lost some stock after this week. We have the Steelers, who maybe some of the nerds are liking. And we have the Colts, who really should have won yesterday. Maybe it balances out the dumb win against the Broncos, but the Colts are good. Like, this is a pretty good team. So
I think we're
make a
missing
case for the fourth spot.
Joey. You want to go?
Um, I'm not ready to put the Colts in there yet, but by like the transitive property, they almost beat the Eagles too because they almost beat the Rams. So, like, um, but I'm just not ready to put the Colts in there. I think I'd go still like Broncos in
I
that
was
final spot.
Really?
I was
Yeah,
gonna say the Broncos. I think, yeah. I'll let you finish, and then I'll do my Broncos take.
yeah. That's. I mean, I haven't really seen them play enough, admittedly. Partly because the Eagles play them next week, and I know I'm gonna like watch the entire game. But I don't know. I just think the Broncos are still like a little bit more of a legit version of what the Colts and like battle tested version of what the Colts are trying to achieve right now. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But the record obviously doesn't reflect that in the same
Just
way.
I know you want to say stuff about the Broncos. I'm just saying that until Bo Nix is better than being the 35th quarterback in the league, I'm not saying that.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what I'm banking on when I do this. I'm banking on him like pulling together. I think Sean Payton is a really good coach, and we'll be able to like. I think you mentioned a couple weeks ago, like smack the shit out of him almost, like get him being like fix him up a little bit. I think they win tonight. I think they'll be 2-2. Um, they'll be right there in the division. Their defense again is still really good. It depends on if Bo Nix becomes rookie year Bo Nix, or even a little bit better than that. It becomes a little bit better if their defense stays healthy. I think they could be a really good team. But
Yeah,
for my four, I'm curious. I guess Kansas City has to be in there because if you don't trust any of the South teams, like you putting Jacksonville or the Colts over them, like
no,
are you putting the Steelers over them with a negative point differential at 3-1?
I'm
Um,
not putting this fucking Steelers.
like so it's Buffalo. Yeah, I'll keep the Chargers in. I think it was a fluky loss. I think there was a lot going against them, but in the long run, it's a really bad loss. You should be 4-0.
I don't I'm just gonna zag on the Chargers there. I just like yeah, you can't lose that game against the Giants.
Yeah,
Like
but
against
everyone
Jackson
lo
Dart's
but
like
everyone loses those games.
yeah. I know. I'm probably just making the Giants seem like worse than they are because I'm just a fan in pain. But
Yeah,
it was again it was probably Madison Beer. It was probably that whole thing.
yeah. I with your Ravens, I agree that they should probably be in that like top 5 or 4 category. It's just, some of those defenders that they have out are on injured reserve. I think 2 or 3 of them, and some of the injuries that they have are like big injuries, like Roquan Smith, Marlon Humphreys, like some really, really good players that are just going to be out for a couple of weeks. And that I know that I went through their schedule and it gets easier. But if they lose like 2 of the next 4 games, like if they go 2-2, and now you're looking up, they're at their bye week in week 7 or something, or week 8, I think it is, and they're 3-5, and maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers are like 5-3 or 6-2 or something. You look
I
up, it's gonna be hard to catch. They might
I just want
they
to
probably will get a playoff spot, but yeah,
I just want to say for the record to defend the integrity of my quarterback, the Madison Beer thing was fake.
it was damn.
Yeah, it was fake. With that said, with that said, if Herbie is so insecure about his relationship that he can be so easily, thrown off before a big game, I don't trust the Chargers.
Boom.
I don't,
I like
I
that.
don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm believing in the Trump curse now. Trump was obviously supporting Kansas City in the Super Bowl last year, and look how that went. And oh yeah, Saquon. Saquon has been off to a terrible start after his whole Trump thing. Harbaugh is a big Trump guy. So both of the Harbaughs right now, look out. That's what I'm gonna say.
Um,
Yeah.
Before we totally move on from the NFL, I have a question. After like 4 weeks, is there an clear or like any favorite for who you'd say the MVP is?
Josh Allen.
Hmm.
You're just ready to go back to back? Because back to back MVP is a little different in football too. It's like even
Shall shall we
Yeah,
look
If
at
you if
odds?
you if yeah, if you have a Zag, please. Like I am here for it.
I just want to say I know this is a stupid thing to say because there will never be a non-quarterback who wins MVP.
Puka
But
Nacua.
Puka's my favorite right now for
Yeah.
MVP. This guy is
Yeah.
just fucking awesome. I love him
What
so
does he
much.
have to what does he have to do? What does he have to do? Because
He
as
has
soon
to
as I said Josh Allen, and then I was like, wait, Puka
he
Nacua
has
has
to
like
break the
140
Calvin
yards a game.
Johnson. What's the single season
It's a
receiving yard?
little under 2,000, yeah.
Yeah, it is 1964. Yeah. So Stafford
If he
has
gets
to. Stafford has to say, "Hey, I threw to the guy who has the record. I'm gonna do it again." That's how Puka gets the MVP.
Yeah, and
So,
quarterbacks stay mid, and Josh Allen
Wait,
makes bad
this is
decisions.
this is
so
just
he
awesome.
is he is currently averaging 125 yards a game. That is on pace for 2,125 yards.
This is awesome. I guess I didn't realize this. The closest to breaking Calvin Johnson's record is Cooper Kupp, who was 17 yards short. Also, Matthew Stafford.
Yep,
So if
Yeah,
Matthew Stafford goes 1, 2, 3, I'm just gonna say that this guy's like
top
he
ten
first
deserves a
ballot
defensive
Hall
big
of
bump
Famer.
player.
up in the all-time rankings.
Um,
All right, so hold
can
on, I
you
just
look
want to
at
say
Can you look at
MVP.
odds? Can you look at odds?
Yeah,
Because I'd throw like 10 cents on Puka Nacua if he breaks his record.
Allen is minus 105.
What
Herbert
minus 105 in week four is crazy.
Herbert is plus 600. Mahomes plus 850. Lamar 900. Love is plus 1,000. And
Love
Ooh, how
Lamar.
does
Puka
it
is
keeps going down too? It was like plus 1,200 like a week ago or 2 weeks ago.
Puka's 100 to 1.
100 to 1.
Like you Drake May has better odds to win MVP than Puka. Like this is so stupid.
That's dumb.
Yeah. Jaden Daniels does, and he's played 1.5 games.
Hell,
Yeah.
Okay, if it's not Josh Allen, it's like at this point, at this exact moment in time, if it's not Josh Allen, it should be Puka Nacua or Jonathan Taylor.
Jalen
Yeah.
Hurts.
Jalen Hurts, I think he was what, 10 to 1? No, 16 to 1. Because he hasn't completed a pass in the second half.
He's on pace for like Puka could have more receiving yards than Jalen Hurts does passing yards this year.
Yeah. Yeah, just get that guy some receivers. Oh wait, no, he has some good receivers. All right. I think we've covered football. I mean, you guys want to talk baseball? I have not been paying any attention to
No,
baseball, but I imagine
no,
that
I do
Joey
not.
like deserves a little chance to talk about baseball.
I
The
need to go
Mets
in like 10
lost.
minutes.
Yeah, we can
Okay.
wrap it up then. We could keep it short. The Mets got eliminated on the final day of the regular season.
Yes, they did. Yes, they
Yeah.
did.
Um, which is I was hoping Cincinnati wasn't going to be a playoff team because I'm nervous that they could sign Kyle Schwarber, and I don't want any reason for him to be playing there at all. Um,
He's gonna hit
and
90 home runs if he plays in that ballpark.
yeah, so a little nervous, but it's all good. Um,
And
I
how are
think
you
the
feeling about
Dodgers.
the Phillies?
I'm feeling good about the Phillies. Their pitching is a little hurt right now, and obviously they lost Wheeler for the whole year. And Ranger Suarez in like the last game, uh, took a ball like 109 off the mound, like straight to the shin. But they say he's fine. Um, but I don't know. Baseball's so weird. Weirdest playoff of any sport, in my opinion. Um,
Yeah.
weirder than hockey. The hockey heads out there, which is really weird in itself. Like you can come back from a 3-0, like down 3-0 in baseball. Technically, I feel like easier than any
Yeah.
sport. So overall, I'm good, but you can't really can't get too excited. I feel like because of how unpredictable it is.
This is definitely one of the most open World Series like fields we've had in a while.
Yeah, because the
Phillies are
Dodgers are
plus
bad.
Phillies are plus 450 and they're the favorites.
Yeah, they're the favorite. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean that makes me excited for sure. And I think they're better than the
Swear to God,
Brewers.
if the Phillies win the World Series, I'm gonna lose my mind. After a year after the Eagles won, I don't know if I could take it.
That would be great. That's what I need. But
All I'm gonna say is I'm happy that the Mets lost because I would have spent $100 on gas to drive home, $250 on a fucking stupid ticket to go to stupid Citi Field, to pay $30 or $50 for parking, to pay $30 for a beer and a hot dog, just to watch them get shut out because they can't hit the ball for shit and their pitching sucks. So I'm
So
very glad
basically,
that,
you basically made like $400 by the Mets missing the
yeah,
playoffs.
like
That's pretty good.
genuinely,
good for you,
because
man.
like genuinely, I made that much money, so now I can sleep happy knowing that
And
I didn't have to waste my money doing
buy
that.
beer and cigarettes.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I use my
well,
cash for that, so that's like fake
oh
money.
yeah,
I
true.
use my tips for that.
Right. I I for one have I told Spencer this last week. I don't care about baseball this year. I haven't been watching at all. There are various reasons. Um, and I selfishly don't want the Yankees to win the World Series because it would be really upsetting for me if like the first year that I'm fully out on baseball, they win the World Series. So I'll be following sort of. I obviously would like to see them beat the Red Sox because there's one thing that never dies is my hatred for the Red Sox. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think the Yankees are very good. I don't think that they have you know, a pitching rotation worthy of a deep run in the playoffs. Um, but they have some like frisky guys in their lineup, like Jazz Jr. and Bellinger. Like, I don't know.
Hmm.
The AL's not that good, so we'll see.
And no Astros,
No Astros.
no
Yeah,
Astro Kryptonite. So
that's kind of
Hmm.
weird. Yeah. But like Seattle's a favorite in the AL. Like, I don't know. I can't see that. Um, all right, before we gotta go, have you guys started prepping for fantasy basketball draft?
no,
No, I'm going in it blind.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah. I prepped
I'm
I
not going in
prepped for
blind.
like
Like
I prepped for 2 weeks last year and like studied hard thinking that I was gonna be able to like demolish this draft and win and then came in seventh and my team kind of sucked. So I feel like I know enough and I've heard enough that I can do it. But watch, I'm gonna come in dead last then. But
Nah,
um
Caleb's gonna be in the league, so
I'm looking at next week for NFL lines real quick.
I just want to say about fantasy, like I was kind of driving myself crazy because I went onto Reddit, fantasy basketball Reddit, and it's like people are talking of like about Josh Giddey's second round potential, and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm gonna overthink this so much now.
He was good for me too.
I know. I'm a little stressed, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm excited.
Okay, I have some picks I think I like. Okay.
take the Broncos.
Giants -1.5 against the Saints.
Ooh,
Texans +6.5 against the Ravens. And Rams -3.5 against the 49ers.
All right.
I like all of them.
I
By the
think the
way,
Rams can blow them out, man.
Schefter just confirmed that the it's an ACL, so Neighbors is out for the season.
That sucks. When are they going to change
Rest
the
in
turf,
peace.
Tobe? Is it the turf?
I don't know. I don't know. That Meadowlands
I didn't
turf.
even I didn't even see it happen. Like,
It
or I
looked
didn't see
like
the video of it. It looked like he just like hopped up and it was like already torn.
Yeah,
somebody like
ACLs are
shot
not
like
brutal looking injuries. They just like they just kind of fall and then they get up and they walk around and it's yeah, it's crazy. Joey, what have you been taking notes on?
right now I'm just scribbling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But earlier I have your list of four people or four teams from each
Okay.
conference, and I was seeing who I would switch, and then I had a
Nice.
list of people I thought could be MVP because I was
Nice.
curious.
Nice.
Is
Yeah.
is he really +100, Puka Nacua?
Yeah, no, he's 100 to 1.
God.
It's like there's no chance basically that a non-quarterback wins MVP.
Especially because they have Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Can you look at his odds for that? I wonder.
I'm looking right
Yeah, I
now.
saw it
He's
actually.
+300.
Is he the highest?
Right.
He's the favorite, yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Like I hate that Jaden Daniels is +4,000 and
I know.
Daniel
It's
Jones is +5,000. Like I'd rather
I
Dan
know.
I think Daniel Jones has been far superior.
He should be
Justin
the second
Jefferson
place.
Justin Jefferson is +15,000. What does he play like a game and a half, 2 games? I haven't heard his name once.
He had
Yeah,
a
he's
good
not
game
even be like
yesterday, but he's not. Yeah, he's not like on his normal level.
Oh my gosh, some of these odds are just so funny. Like why are they even up here?
Yeah. Stupid.
Spencer Rattler plus 50,000. Bro is 0-10 in his career. Has not won a
Spencer
single game
Rattler's
as a
even on
starter.
this. I love that. Um,
Um, okay, we don't have to keep
all right,
going
guys.
about that. Next week, I think we should fully dive into basketball.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's
I
time.
would
I
love to.
think I think next week should be over unders. So start prepping.
Maybe, but
Woo!
we'll see because I'm gonna be busy because like I'll be in like at home and stuff, and it might be a little hard. I might rather be the next week so I have some more time to do research.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. I'll let you know though. All
Okay, I'm
right.
gonna stop the recording.
Signing off.
Peace out,
Peace out.
Algo Squad.
Yep.